Other than 11. Oh, sorry. So I call this meeting to order. This is a special meeting of the Board of Equalization. It's Tuesday, April 23rd, 2024. It is 9:30 a.m. Notice was properly posted of this meeting on April 15th, 2024. We have 15 properties to deal with. Mr. Town is having medical procedures today, so it's just the two of us. So Mr. Reese is here.
Present.
And I'm here. 2 people is a quorum. So we'll get ready. I guess we'll get Mr. Hayes has all 15 of these today.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we'll get him on the phone. Don't be shy.
Good morning.
Good morning. So are you surprised that we got you right at 9:30?
Yep, I thought I was going to be waiting again.
Nope. You've got all the ones on the agenda today.
What about tomorrow? Wow, I'll get that later.
Okay. So do you have any pre-announcements for us?
I like the way you call pre-announcement. Yes.
Okay. Which ones?
Okay. Start off with number 1200. That's my first.
Okay, that's the first one on the agenda. Okay, that's BOE number 230, 3804 Southeast 48, R151791 200. The assessor is requesting a valuation setting of $165,000. You agree to that, Mr. Hayes?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I will make a motion on BOE 230 to set the fair market value at $165,000 by agreement of the parties.
And I will second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. What's the next one, Mr. Hayes?
1150, the next one that I have.
1.
Which one is it? 230.
231.
Okay, so that's the second item on the agenda. BOE number 231, 509 Northwest 174th, R201201-150. The assessor is asking for a valuation setting of $252,500. You agree to that, Mr. Hayes? Right.
I will make a motion on BOE 231, item number 2 on the agenda to set the fair market value at $252,500 by agreement of the parties.
I will second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, the next one, Mr. Hayes.
Number 8, 6840.
Okay.
That's item number 3 through 232.
Okay, number 232, 3917 South Agnew Avenue, R074246840. The assessor's asking for a valuation of $64,000. You agree to that, Mr. Hayes?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll make a motion on BOE 232, item number 3 on the agenda to set the fair market value at $64,000 by agreement of the parties.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Are there any others?
Number 10, 2130.
Okay, that's item 5 on the
234.
agenda. Okay, so on BOE number 234, 428 Brighton Drive, R120272-130. The assessor is requesting a valuation setting of $190,500. Do you agree to that, Mr. Hayes?
Yes.
I will make a motion on BOE 234, item number 5 on the agenda to set the fair market value at $190,500 by agreement of the parties.
I second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Any others?
Number 12, 1150.
Item 7.
Okay, that's 7. Number 7 on the agenda, BOE number 236. What is the assessor requesting on that one?
$276,500.
You agree to that, Mr. Hayes?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Make a motion on BOE 236, item number 7 on the agenda to set the fair market value at $276,500 by agreement of the parties.
I second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any others?
1330.
That's the next one. Item 8 on the agenda, BOE number 237, 8216 Prairie Ridge Road, R201 041 330. What is the assessor requesting on this one?
$240,000.
You agree to that, Mr. Hayes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Make a motion on BOE 237, item number 8 on the agenda to set the fair market value at $240,000 by agreement of the parties.
Second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any others?
The last one, 1560.
1660.
Okay, that's number
239.
Yeah. Item 10 on the agenda.
Yeah.
BOE number 239 is 6913 Eagle Landing, R206 361 660. What is the assessor requesting on this one?
$210,500.
You agree to that, Mr. Hayes?
Ma'am.
I'll make a motion on BOE 239, item number 10 on the agenda to set the fair market value at $210,500 by agreement of the parties.
Second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So we will go back to,
That was all of them, Mr. Hayes?
Yes, ma'am.
okay, so there's item 1 was set.
The first one would be item 4.
Okay, 14411 Autumn Drive, R1202511010. There's 272,000 this year, 243,000 in 23, and 214,000 in 21. I have that this was purchased in May of 22 for $297,130. What are you requesting, Mr. Hayes?
It was purchased in May of what?
22.
That was looks to me like it was a multi-parcel
It was a
sale.
back sale.
Yeah, June of 21 was 192.5.
Okay.
Hold on, what number you guys on? What's the
10,
order?
1010.
Oh, she mentioned the same one I had. She was ordered, do I have it?
14411 Autumn Drive. What was the purchase price, Teresa?
192.5.
And y'all have it at 272?
Yes, even.
I'm at 270,
Okay.
pretty close.
Which comps did you use?
Oh, I actually used some of our comps on this one. If you go to our comp,
Yes.
look at the proximity. You guys become kind of reaching with the sale price and the proximity of number 1 and number 3. 1.37, 1.17. You guys haven't done that the whole time that we've been doing these. You know, say we're gonna buy. So I thought that was interesting. But what I did, I looked a little further. I found our comp 1 was closer. 3 years, a little bit larger. We adjusted to 269. So I used our comp 1.
Was that the Sorry, go ahead.
And the assessor's comp 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
You didn't use any others of your comp, just your comp 1?
Well, our comp 1 was less than a mile. I would say from the comp mile, because the rest of them were over a mile. Well, number 3 was close also.
Okay, I thought I looked at your comps and all of your comps were more than a half a mile.
Yeah, all of them are, but I'll get to that.
Your comps are over a mile. 2 of your comps are over a mile.
I understand, but that your comp one, I don't think was less than a half a mile. It may be less than a mile, but I don't think it's less than a half a mile.
Comp one and comp three. Comp one is almost a mile and comp three is 0.59.
Correct. I don't disagree with you on that.
And so I think it should be a little bit, I mean, I think they kind of reached on the contract. Now, here's what I will say. I have not done one hearing where you guys went over a mile on two. Now, you had one or two here where maybe out of two or over a mile. So I don't think that's coming. I think you're reaching for those. Yes, you're in the same neighborhood, but normally we stay within a mile when it comes. The only good thing about number one is it was sold in December.
What was the square footage on your comp one?
It was a little bit larger than the Surrey property. It was 2,096, I think.
Yeah, that was the same issue with comps 1 and 3 as well. Comp 2, those were larger like the subject property. Comp 2, though, was much smaller than the subject property.
Comp one is a little less than 200 square feet larger. Comp 3 is only 14 square feet in the same year.
But comp 2 is quite a bit smaller.
Comp 2,
The assessor's comp 2.
yeah, it's about 300 square feet. Yeah.
Okay.
But you used it.
So the other two, it was the closest in the when it came to the area.
Area, okay.
The other two was 1.37, 734, and the other was 1.17. It was over 1,000 square feet. So,
Okay.
wasn't a lot of when it comes to all the levy what we use. And I also looked at the square footage. I mean, the land square footage. Look at the land square footage. Comp 2 was actually the closest. Look at 186 and 19. So 1 and 3 were horrible. So 2 was actually the better comp.
Okay, we'll hear from the assessor.
Okay. 14411 Autumn Drive. Your major streets here are Southeast 15th and South Choctaw. The square footage of this subject property is 1,887 square feet, with the current value being $272,000. That gives you a price per square foot of $144.14. On this one, I relooked at Ryan's comps, and I thought they were pretty good compared to other ones. So I used 6 of their comps. One of them being the comp 1 he talked about. Their comp 3, 4, 5, 6, and 11. And they were so good, I even printed them out for you. So here's those. And to talk about these being a little bit further away, each property looks like it's over an acre or more. So they're going to be spread out in proximity. But again, when I look at their comps, they're about the same distance as ours, and both support our value of what we are requesting. Actually, both medians and means are both higher than what we have them on for currently. So that's really all I have to say, because both ways we run the comps, with our 3 comp or their 6 comp. Just so Mr. Hayes knows, the 6 comp report that was strictly theirs, the mean was 298. The median is 297. Our 3 comp report was median 278, 484. Our mean 287, 937. And we currently have it valued at 272. The 21 sale that was referred to as the last sale was actually a distress sale.
Oh, that was distress.
Or sheriff deed, sorry. Yeah, that was a sheriff deed back in 21. I meant to look when the last time there was an actual arms length transaction. 2006 was the last one. So
Were any of the taxpayer comps that you used on here the same as the comps that you originally used?
Oh, good question. No, none of the comps in our 3 comp report are not the same as the 6 comp report that was ran with Ryan.
You get the last word, Mr. Hayes.
I have nothing further to you.
Okay, I've got to close the hearing on 233. And then item 6 on the agenda is next up. BOE number 235, 9221 Orchard Boulevard, R123671-810. What is the assessor asking on this one?
$228,000.
And Mr. Hayes, what do you have? It's 1810 of the last 4 digits.
I'm going. I normally keep them up. All right. Okay. Hold on, you said, what was the value on 18?
228,000. You need the street address?
Why have something different popping up in mine? R123671810.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
You probably disputed the taxable the taxable value of 2,500. Is that the value you're seeing?
Hold on. 221. Anything, honey? Oh, that's the one. I don't remember this one. Hold on 1 second. I have notes, but my notes are not matching with.
Is this a new build?
It's a remodel.
Oh, remodel.
You guys are jumping around, so I'm putting them in the way she sent it to me. So that's why I'm getting confused.
9221 Orchard Boulevard.
9320. Okay, 9221 Orchard Boulevard. 1267.
1810.
Because I have a bunch of them that, and I have to pull them out. Oh, okay. That's the fine, guys. That's it. On this one, I had 213.5. We only had 3. I looked at all 3, all of them were close to the certain property. And noticed that one sold at the latter part of the year that was 50 square foot to all in the certain parking spot. And it's just the highest at 243, which is kind of high to me. But if you look at all 3, I just think the main number 3 became 213.5.
Of the assessor's valuation. I mean, assessor's comps. 3 of them.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, let's hear from the assessor.
9221 Orchard Boulevard. Your major streets here are Southeast 29th and South Douglas Boulevard. The square footage of the subject property is 1,666 square feet. With the current value at $228,000, that gives you a price per square foot of $136.85. The last purchase on this property was in May of 22, and it was a multi-property purchase. As you did state, the 3-comp report supports a median of 224,757 and a mean of 213,696. But into further digging into this property, I found a remodel that we did not have accounted for, and that is going to be reflected next year. But we were not aware of it. There was no permits pulled on this property. Michael has it up right now on the screen. Looks very good. And with that being said, the value we currently have it at more than supports that value of 228, especially after finding the remodel and the work that was put in to the home.
Do you disagree with Mr. Hayes that using your comps? So what did he not use, the adjusted value or the sales value? Why
No,
is-
he used
it.
the assessor's comps. He was correct. But what he's saying is because of the remodel.
Oh,
that
I
think it
see.
should be higher.
If the remodel was actually caught and the permits were actually pulled, that value would be higher. But because we didn't have any proof of that until they put it up for rent,
You mean the value would be higher than even the 228?
yes.
Okay.
I have a question on comp 3. I did see when I looked on the assessor's website, or maybe it was on your comp, I forget where I saw it, but I saw that it perhaps had 1.5 story as well.
On comp 3, it is 1.5 story.
Yeah, it was 1.5 story, and maybe that's what it was. But it said something about unfinished light, and I saw 1.5 stories on comp on the subject property as well. So I thought that those two were probably the closest to being like each other, since they both have the 1.5 story.
And that would pull so you take a median of the mean of the two of them.
Well, I'm not really sure what that means just yet. I want to sit down and look at this one a little bit now that I know about the remodel. So.
Okay. Anything further, Mr. Hayes?
Well, when you talk about a remodel, let's look at it. If you see how he showed that property, show all 4 properties, show the other 3. They probably look just as good because guess what? They set up the sale. So all these properties sold in the last 3 years. You're selling the property. Remember, we're comparing a property that hasn't been recently sold or sold 2 years ago to property that's sold recently. Which one you think is going to look better? Most likely the property that recently sold because they're preferable for sale to help themselves. So it depends on how extensive the remodel. I don't see it. Can't see it. I'm not there. I'm kind of curious to see that. That's why I kind of wish we had some visual. Because he just said it looks like.
Where did you pull the photos from, Zoe?
It's on Zillow.
Yeah, he can pull it up himself online.
That's all we did. Whenever we were putting in more work on these, we just typed them in, and Ryan wouldn't know about them because this is from the people they're representing. But they have a whole website, and if it goes up for rent, they upload all the photos with it, and it's like a lot of these we end up finding they're updated and they're not pulling permits for that, and we're finding them updated and it's obvious because they're also putting what it used to look like in the pictures.
How do you do an update without a permit? You just do it?
Yeah.
Oh.
It actually happens more frequently than you think. If you know people who know how to do that work, they'll just say, hey, yeah, go do this work. We'll give you this amount of money and be done with it. You don't like if it's flooring or cabinetry, you wouldn't have to pull a permit for that.
Just electrical and plumbing.
Pretty much, yeah. And if you move anything like plumbing wise, yeah, like you said, that would pull a permit, anything like that.
Okay, anything further, Mr. Hayes?
Just looking at that property real quick.
And I would recommend the Zillow one. The Redfin didn't have it on there, but Zillow does have it on
I'm looking at the property, 9221 Orchard Boulevard, 1,666 square feet.
Yes.
Oh, picture is black. Look like they changed the
Probably
Change
the
the
flooring in the
countertops
kitchen.
they changed the countertops and the appliances and the floor.
Floors
Okay.
and the paint,
New fireplace.
new fireplace. At least the bricking around the fireplaces.
Updated exterior.
The exterior of the property is newer. We scroll down. I think they show the older picture of what it used to be.
So did this get rated excellent?
No, I should write that down. It's still fair.
Fair.
So we won't change the quality,
Okay.
but it will change what the effective year built
Yes.
of the property. It wouldn't change the quality though, because that would affect the entire neighborhood.
I thought the effective year built, when it comes to appraisal concepts, the effective year built normally changes. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. The effective year built normally changes when you break down part of the structure. You're taking out sheetrock and all that stuff. Because then you're putting in new materials to the basic structure of the home. That's when you know you don't change the effective year built from appraisal standards with paint, floors, and minor stuff. Those are all cosmetic. Effective year built in appraisal standards. Now, this I do. I'm going to stop that. I'm going to say what I do for my appraisal standards background. You change the effective year built is because you change something larger on the property. Meaning you pull sheetrock out, maybe alter it, not just paint and floors and appliances. That's not changing the effective year built. That's cosmetic. Major cosmetic is changing the effective year built. Am I not right?
What about the fireplace? What are you doing with the fireplace? Is that cosmetic?
That's still cosmetic. The fireplace didn't move. Now, if you move the fireplace, that changes. But if all you're doing is moving brick around the fireplace, that's still cosmetic. That's not even major cosmetic. I'm getting ready to change my fireplace. I'm getting ready to surround it and put a baseboard over it because it's just a hole. That's minor cosmetic. That's not something that changes the value of a house. That changes the ambiance. That's minor. That's not considered an effective year built concept of a change, is it? No.
So if you
A painting, appliances, that's an update. That's standard. Paint gets old. Appliances go bad. Your refrigerator go bad. You want everything to match. You change out everything to match the color.
What about the roof? What about the roof?
The roof,
Mm-hmm.
that's standard. A 20-year roof, so you mean to tell me this home should pay more than that because the roof is old? The house is what? The house is built in what year? It needed a new roof. That doesn't change the value. That changes work because it needs to be updated so it won't have leaks, so you won't have to make an insurance claim. No offense, but you're raising the value for no reason. That's not a truth. That's why you keep it at fair. That's cosmetic. You need new appliances. You change the fireplace, you paint it. I see that crown molding and all. No, it doesn't have that.
Okay, so you're saying the only thing that really changes is sheetrock? What about well, hold on. What
Saying the effective year age is when you make large.
What if you go through and install wood floors? Is that cosmetic or does that change the?
That's updating. That's not true cosmetic. That's updating.
Okay.
The floors get old, man. I mean, I have marble floors. That's cosmetic. That's not a major change.
Mm-hmm.
When you change the backsplash, the floor, the crown molding, and paint, that's true. That's when you're doing a full change. If you say you change the floor, it's time to update the floor. You got old floors. That's standard. That's called. That's not considered a remodel.
So you're going to hold it to 213.5?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm going to close the hearing on BOE number 235. Did you need to say something?
No.
Okay, so the next item on the agenda is the 9th item on the agenda, BOE 238. 14408 Red Road in Choctaw. R203651430. What is the assessor requesting?
$279,000.
What are you requesting, Mr. Hayes?
I'm pretty close to it. It was only 3 comps. I just did the mean of the comps, 277.5.
Okay, let's hear from the assessor.
The subject property is located at Northeast 10th and North Henry Road.
It's way out there.
We did a 3 comp report, which has a median value of $284,066, and what was stated, the mean value is $277,596. The last purchase we had on this property was a multi-property purchase. I'm pretty sure they're in the same batch sale as some of these other ones that we've done, but that was in May of 22. I did take a look at the Ryan comps, and when I put those in there, the amount of adjustments that would have had to be made to make it like the subject were out of this world. I mean, it was like 30% to make it like the subject, which is not a good comp. So we did not use any of the Ryan comps in our report. Like I stated earlier, our 3 comp report median supports 284. I think our comps are more than fair, especially looking at them again. I would still stand pat with what we're asking with the $279,000.
Okay, you get the last word, Mr. Hayes.
Well, they go with the median. Look at the concept of the difference in the adjusting prices. The median is 33,000 higher. I mean, the highest is 33,000 over. So to go with the median, it's only 6,000 off. So he's saying 284 is the mean. I mean, once again, using multiple properties, picking one that type of property. That is from my concept, using for tax purposes, from a mass appraisal. Mass means multiple, so I use multiple properties, and that's why I use the mean. They try to teach me the same thing when I worked in the Fed. I just don't believe in that. You shouldn't use one value of one property unless that property is pretty much a microcosm, meaning the same exact property, everything is in line. That's when you use that one property.
Well, they use 3.
No, ma'am. He took the value of the median, which is 284. That's why he's saying, but he's saying the market value of 279 is good, but based off the value of the median, which is 284, which is not correct. We're using appraisal standards for math appraisals. They like the median. But remember, we're talking math. What is math when it comes to property? It's multiple. So when you use one value of a property, I'm saying that the concept should be only used when that one value is within 10 to 20, maybe 30 square foot of the subject property with all the other concepts in line. That's when I use one. And I've only done that. If you notice, I've only done that at that particular time.
Can I ask a quick question of the assessor's office? When do you show was the last valid sale on this property?
On the subject, I'll be going. Yeah, 21 was a sheriff's deed. Looks like 2006.
With 179,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm going to close the hearing on BOE number 238. Next on the agenda is item 11, BOE 087, 2316 Northwest 179th Terrace, R215 161,040. What is the assessor requesting?
$327,500.
What are you asking, Mr. Hayes?
I'm at 314.
Okay.
Tell us how.
So, it kind of hurt. I don't know, it kind of led up to me. Looking at number 1.
Assessor's number 1?
Yes,
Okay.
it is a microcosm of it. Now notice, it's sale adjusted value, adjusted lower to 311.4. What I did, I adjusted sale price because they are the same exact property and it's adjusting for the time. It's sold in August. It's the same exact property. It's 1 year older. The land's a little bit higher. It's in the same neighborhood, same subdivision. I'm sorry, but if I'm in a cookie cutter neighborhood, 0.08, I want my taxable value to be the same as my neighbor, regardless, because of the math concept. Because of the math concept, you use individuality of the same exact size property. I mean, we were taught that. So I don't know if you guys were taught that as an assessor and Kevin, we were taught that it's the same size. They should be granted that value.
But you're only
Value.
using one property, correct? To come up with
because
that
they're the
valuation?
same size, the same square footage, the same quality with the same year. The only difference is the land. They bought theirs for 310. Their land is bigger. I adjusted to 314. September, October, November, December. That's $4,000 for a month. 310, 314. Kind of
And,
makes sense.
and the
Probably.
reason why you use the adjusted sales price versus the sales adjusted value?
Because I'm considering that the concept of the time. It gave it $1,000 a month. September, October, November, December. That's 4 months.
Right, that's what the adjusted sales price does, but the sales adjusted value makes the adjustments for the differences in the two properties.
Pay attention. That went lower. 311.4. I just went with the time because they're the same exact size. I don't understand where the 311.4 come from.
Okay.
Okay, we'll hear from the
Maybe
assessor.
and
We'll hear from the assessor.
hold on one second. That land could be that was on the corner lot. Still sold for 310. Land's bigger and it could cut a neighbor. Look at all the land values. All the land size. 55.8, 59.24, 68.4.
Okay,
2316 Northwest 179th Terrace. Your major streets here is North Penn and West Edmond Road. The square footage of the subject property is 1,594 square feet. Current value is $327,500, which gives you a price per square foot of $205.46. We had a recent purchase, but it was an unqualified sale in May of 23. The last qualified sale was in 22 for $300,000, and that was July of 22. The 3-comp report we ran supports a median of 333,466 and a mean value of 326,952. I honestly don't know why we only used 3, because there was 129 sales in the neighborhood in 23.
how big is the neighborhood?
This one is big. It's because a lot of these are getting built or have been recently built, so there's a bunch of sales. And the neighborhood size, it just depends on what the sales team determines. Some neighborhoods are smaller, some are bigger. This is one of the bigger ones. But I don't know how they determine that, truthfully. I looked at the Ryan LLC comps. They were much older and required more adjustments to make it like the subject property. So with all that being said, plus what's being requested is lower than what the value was in 23. The 23 value is $316,500. I truthfully don't understand the point of only using one comp, and that's just not how it works. We use mass appraisal as stated, and that is why we're sticking with $327,500.
I want to point out real quick, sorry, that from 192nd to Edmond, from May to Pennsylvania, that is the entire neighborhood.
Okay, that's the square mile. Okay.
Could I make a quick comment to Mr. Hayes? I'm going to ask you to please refrain from suggesting that we're not paying attention.
I never said that, man.
I believe you did say pay attention to me when I asked a question earlier. I'm going to ask you to please not make those types of statements any longer. It's rude, quite frankly.
Okay. Okay, I don't remember doing it. I was trying to probably say point to that. Okay, maybe I need to reword my. No, I didn't mean that.
But I'd like for you to respond to the assessor's assertion, which I guess is not an assertion. You in fact are requesting a lower value than the fair market value a year ago.
So with him saying the concept of so many sales, if you got so many sales, why do you have to go 0.65 and 1.62 when your first is 0.08? And it's a reflection of a lower value than the assessor's value at 327.5. I'm pretty sure you find more sales closer than 0.65 and 0.62. If that's the point. If you could have had 6, why did you buy? What I was trying to insinuate is that the first property is a direct concept of the value. That's what I'm saying. Pay close attention to it because it's the exact same size. Exact same size. The garage is the same size. The covered porch is a little bit off, but they still adjusted it. $1,438 higher because it's sold in August. I don't know. So the only difference we got 1.75 and 2 truck bathrooms. I don't know what that means.
So you're saying you're going to find sales that are closer in time and closer in distance to justify less of a value than we had a year ago.
Well, all I'm saying is that he was insinuating that there were so many sales that could have been used, but you only provided 3. Well, one of the 3 is the exact same size as the subject property. That's all I'm saying. It's 0.08 and sold 310,000, which is what 17,500 more than the market value.
Okay.
Same size, sold in August. So
August of 23.
Even a mass appraisal site, they tell you to do this in your neighborhood, especially when you're in what we call a cookie cutter neighborhood. They tell the neighbors to get together. But working in a CAD, I know the neighbor will come in and say, my neighbor got the same size house. I like that value. Well, a lot of times, you say, well, we can't do that. But it kind of makes sense, especially if you can show that there's no been up, there have been no upgrades in your house. How do you justify raising their value high, 5,000, 10,000 higher than the neighbors when they have the same house with the same design and the same square footage?
So, Mr. Hayes, I don't disagree with you. It would be preferable if the assessor's office had pulled some of those 129 comps that were closer to the subject property. But this is where we are now, so we'll have to deal with it and make a decision.
Can I actually, because he did, I thought the question was going to be towards me, but he didn't let me talk. To answer your question that was brought up, the reason we used comps that were a little bit further away is because they were more comparable. As stated, the comp 1,
For instance, in square footage.
is square footage.
Okay.
It might be further away, but it's very, very close to what the subject is.
And is in the same neighborhood.
And it is in the same neighborhood. So, again, I agree. I agree with Teresa. We probably should have used 6 comps if we had all those sales. However, we took the best 3, still in the same neighborhood, but with the less amount of adjustments. If you could scroll down real quick, if you look at those adjustments, that's not a lot. The dollar value on those, that's not a whole lot to deal with. Making those adjustments to make it like the subject. So that's why those 3 were used. That's what supports our value. Again, we'll try and do better. And if we have that many, we definitely should be pulling 6 comps. I definitely agree with that. But with the 3 that we have, those are the best ones that we have that would support our value with the least amount of adjustments to the subject property.
Your mean was 326,962. What was your median?
Median is $333,466.
Anything further, Mr. Hayes?
Well, I do. I remember him saying that the neighborhood's kind of big. They don't know how they do the neighborhood. We don't know. All we're doing is, I just know that the main concept I'm using is the closest one to the same square.
Okay.
And if if you own the property and you saw that, you want your value the same as that other person on very close. That's all I mean. Especially sold in August. Yeah. Whether it be lower than last year's value or not. It's all about the comp. That's a true comp. That's an exact comp. I would definitely, if I'm that person, I want my value the same as the person who just bought a comp.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna close the hearing on 087 and open the hearing on item 12 on the agenda, BOE number 88, 2508 Ozark Trail R 204-851130. What is the assessor requesting?
$291,500.
What are you requesting, Mr. Hayes?
I'm very close. I'm at 289. I use the 1, 4, and 5. The 2, I think I use these because, yeah, I stayed with the concept with the least amount of adjustment. Even though they were all close, I stayed close with the least amount of adjustment. Number 1 was 4. Number 4 and 5 were -1, -2. I also looked at, I also stayed in the concept of the subdivision. Number 6 is in the subdivision.
But I thought you used 1, 4, and 5. You also use 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
No?
No. Number 5 was out of the subdivision. Number 6 was, but I like 1, 4, and 5. They were close to square footage, and they were the adjustments were good. I used the one with the lowest adjustment.
Okay, we'll hear from the assessor.
Okay, the property at 2508 Ozark Trail. Major streets here is West Covell Road and North Kelly Avenue. The square footage of the subject property is 1,835 square feet. The current value in 24 is $291,500, which gives you a price per square foot of $158.86. We had a qualified sale in April of 22 for $282,000. Our sixth comp report supports a median value of $298,071, a mean value of $294,351. All are 2023 sales. All are in the neighborhood, and the subdivision, we are not making an adjustment for that. They're all in the same neighborhood. And if you look at those comps, there's a 0% adjustment on that subdivision. All the comps are close to the subject. And truthfully, I don't see where he's coming up with that number, which is okay. However, our comps are actually supporting a higher value than what we currently have it on for. And that's why we're staying with the $291,500.
Okay, last word, Mr. Hayes.
I believe that's the mean of 1, 4, and 5, like I said before, and I use those because I have to be adjusted.
Okay, I'm gonna close the hearing.
So let me do it like this. The one thing I've noticed, and there's this too, you don't understand why they have 6. He said a while ago they would have 6 every time. So I have no idea what the analysts are doing. I just follow with it. And when you provide 6, I normally take 3. You provide 3, I try to use all 3 on. If I see one that I don't feel it should be, and I'm following the same concept every time. No matter what they do, I follow the same concept.
You never use 6.
No, you're never, from an appraisal standpoint, no.
Okay.
We also don't always use, we don't use 1 either.
Like I said, I always use 1 when it's the same exact size.
We never
When
do.
everything matches up, it should be a microcut. They should be the same.
No.
Because that's how you come up with the value, because it's the sale price, the market value.
Okay, I'm gonna close the hearing on 88 and move to item 13 on the agenda, BOE 240-3624 Huntsman Road. R 12900 1340. What is the assessor requesting?
$381,500.
And what are you requesting, Mr. Hayes?
I'm at 361.50, 361,500. Hold on, I have a lot of notes. Oh, okay. So, first thing I noticed on this one was the difference in sale price, $95,000. We're not talking about properties that are over $500,000, so that lets you know that number one is not a true comp. If it's over $435,000, 400 square feet larger than the subject property. This land is considerably larger. Look at your net adjustment, $47,000. So, kind of threw that one out.
So I'm sorry, explain to me again why you don't believe comp one is a true comp? Because
First of all, by the sale price, $435,000, it's 400 square feet larger than the subject property, and the net adjustment is almost $50,000, $47,500. Should be adjusting $47,500 property that's around $400,000 to $500,000. That's a large adjustment. I hope you would agree with that. So that being said, number three, going over I think that I go to, yeah. So I use number three for our comp. Because y'all didn't have any good comps, that's what, if you notice, I don't see good comps for you guys because I'm hoping that your algorithm pulls better comps in line, which we've noticed. But on this one, we have pretty decent comps also. Number three, pretty close to 2546. 2 years then and adjusted to 365, 300.
But comp three was the February 2022 sale, which means it was the oldest sale of the three.
No, that's why I threw y'all three. That's why
He's saying
three.
his
I'm using my.
Oh, you used your comp three.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you can bring it up. Built in 1997. It's about 40 square foot smaller than subject property. 2546. And it sold for 359. It's adjusted 365, 300. It sold in August. The only time I use my comps is when they're decent and when they're relevant to the situation. And I also use number five. It sold in July. And it's 1 year older than the subject property. A little bit smaller. And it sold for 318 and adjusted 346. I use those three and your comp two. That's how I got my 361.5. I just don't think you guys comp are good on this.
You use, wait, give me the number of yours, the three you use.
You used 3 and 5.
He used 5. I thought he tossed the assessor's 3. You tossed the number 1. Which 3 did you use?
I used your number 3, my number 3, and my number 5. I tossed your 1 and 2.
You tossed 1 and 2. Okay. And the median of, wait a minute, the median of those 3 is 361.5?
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear from the assessor.
3624 Hudson Road, major streets North Kelly Avenue and West Coffee Creek Road. Square footage of the subject property is 2,584 square feet. The 24 value is $381,500, which gives you a price per square foot of $147.64. What is being requested is lower than the 23 value. 23 value is $368,000. There was a multi-property purchase of May of this year, and the last
23.
Yes.
Okay.
The last qualified sale is it'd be July of 22 for $369,500. I figured this would come up, so the 3 comp report what I did is I added their comp 1. I don't know why he didn't use their comp 1 because it's close.
Well, you did use one, didn't you?
No.
He uses 3 and 5.
Oh, he uses 3 and 5.
Yeah.
Our 3 there, I'm sorry, the assessor's 3, his 3. Okay.
Yeah, and his 3 and 5 are over a half a mile. Actually, I think 5 was not half a mile. It might be 0.4 miles away, but the comp 3 is 0.75 miles or 70. I can't remember. Whatever it is.
Mr. Hayes, why are you asking less than your purchase price? It was a
I thought that was purchase last year. Was it outright purchase or was it a bulk purchase?
It was July of 22, but the valuation last year was 368.
Yeah, I know the 369 purchase price in July. But if you notice that there are several properties that are 425, 450, all around the same, so that lets me know that most of those properties have been heavily upgraded for sale. Some of these properties are not upgraded, some of these properties are. Buying in a bulk, sometimes they're not really upgraded. I mean, they're pretty much the same, but look at the size of these properties and stuff. You got 3,000 square feet, 3168, 3151. I wouldn't use a 3,064 compared to a 2584. That's 500 square feet. 480 to be actually 480 to be exact.
Okay. Mr. Hayes, can we let the assessor please finish his statements, and then you'll have the last word.
They did ask me a question though, didn't they?
Yes, and I believe you've answered it.
So what I did is I took the 3 comps we used, added their comp 1 into the report. I get a mean value of $389,429 and a median value of $388,439. So it
Sorry,
did
what was the median?
median of $388,439. So using his comp 1 did bring it down from our 3 comp report, but it still supports the value that we have it at $381,500. And just because a property sold for so much more does not mean it was remodeled. If someone is willing to pay that much for a property, that is their own problem. Because as we've seen in Oklahoma County, people were paying a ridiculous amount of money for a property because they wanted it or because they were afraid they may not find another house. So just because they paid that much money does not deem that as a comp that should be thrown out. And that's all I have.
Okay, now you can respond, Mr. Hayes.
Well, you asked about why I didn't use number 1. I didn't use number 1 because it's by kind of scale of about 500 square foot larger.
Okay.
Now, I'm in the concept of what people pay. I understand that, but from an appraisal standard, we already know that they're going in, looking at the houses and seeing the extra value that we can't see because we don't get the chance to see the value. That's what normally makes the sale price go up. You come in my house, you see my house on the outside. Once you come inside, that's when the value actually goes up, which makes the person more willing to pay more. Yes, the supply and demand does play a factor, but also amenities, upgrades, and those types of things play a big part.
But Mr. Hayes, you just gotta know that we lived through this for 2 years. My daughter moved back here from New York, and so we looked at houses, and I will tell you that there were some houses built in the 40s that had the original windows that really didn't have any upgrade in the kitchen. The neighborhood was just a neighborhood everybody was fighting over. There were no upgrades. We didn't have new roofs. We didn't have new paint. We started figuring, okay, we got to tear out all these windows, put in brand new windows. We got to do this. We got to do that. But the prices were just you're just making an assumption that the experience that we had this last 2 years does not bear out. I just have to say that to you. What is it?
The comp 3 that he's using,
Yes.
it's an unqualified sale. I have the note right here.
What is it?
Comp 3. So the comp 3 that he was saying he was using in his report.
Yes.
I don't know why it was invalid, but I wrote it down that it was.
His
So we
three
can-
or his?
His comp three.
It's comp three.
Yeah.
One that he used in his valuation.
I'll pull it up.
Reason why was
What was the value?
And that's what he's gonna pull that up real quickly.
Well, and it's not fairly adjusted either.
It's a family transfer.
Family transfer. So the last arm's length transaction was in 2019 for $272,500.
Okay.
And as Teresa said, it wasn't used with the adjustments that were made to it.
It wasn't properly adjusted.
Correct.
Do you change your mind at all, Mr. Hayes?
I wasn't showing that, ma'am, so, no,
Okay.
family, I don't see how that's showing family.
Well, you can generally tell by the doc stamps.
Yeah, and that's what we're going off of.
Um,
That was a family transfer, and we don't even have the SL price on that.
okay,
You guys don't have, we were able to get it either.
but it's on the website.
Yeah, it's on there. It shows that it was a transaction, but it's a family transfer, so they didn't pay a fair market value.
Fair market
Thank you.
value for it.
What the arms,
Yes, it was not an arm's length transaction.
So that takes you down to our three, or the assessor's three, and
They're comp five.
and your comp five. Okay, my issue more on this one is that you're under your own purchase price. But, okay, so I'm gonna close the hearing on BOE number 240, and there are two items left, item 14 and item 15 on the agenda. 14 is BOE number 241, 3605 Northwest 176th Street, 208 06 1720. The assessors requesting $270,500. In 23, it was $259,000. I have a purchase here in June of 22 for $220,000. What
what
do you?
was the offer?
270.
Yeah, there was one, it was a 220 and a 270 that was listed on the website at the same time, the same date.
The 22 is a sheriff's sale,
Okay.
or the first one, sorry, and then the 628.
Sorry.
Oh, shorts.
You know, and when it says invalid SS, that means a subsequent sale, meaning there was a prior valid sale that same year,
Yes.
but then it sold again for more. And then so the one that was valid prior, we then mark invalid because it sold earlier, so it was a subsequent sale.
Okay, so I would have 270 as the purchase price.
Yes. Sorry.
And what is date am I going to use for that?
June of 22.
June of 2020.
Yes.
Okay, so Mr. Hayes, what are you asking?
What R number was that, man?
1720.
1720, after.
3605 Northwest 176th Street.
I'm at 266.5.
2565.
266.5.
Oh, 266.5. Okay. Tell me how you got there.
Looking at the sale prices, they all were pretty close. Number 4 was the high compared to the rest, about 30 to 40,000 over. What am I going to say?
Are you on theirs or yours?
1720.
No, the comps that you're mentioning. Are you on the assessor's comps or your comps?
I'm looking at the assessment comps.
And what were you saying about comp 4? That I couldn't understand if you liked it or if you didn't.
No, this is one I should agree to. I'm sorry. This is the one I changed my notes up on this one.
Okay.
I scribbled notes and actually marked this one out and forgot to tell you about this one. This one was close. I had 4 comps.
Okay, I entertain a motion for an agreement, an agreed value of $270,500.
Yes.
I'll make a motion on BOE 241, item number 14 on the agenda to set the fair market value at $270,500 by agreement of the parties.
Second, all in favor? Aye. Okay, the last item on the agenda, item 15, is BOE number 242. Street address, 4709 October Drive, R211-571 320. The assessor is at $331,000 even. Last year, $324,500. The year before, $285,000. I show a sale in March of 22 of $325,000.
That's correct.
What are you asking, Mr. Hayes?
A little bit higher, 327.5. They look like they wanted to provide 6 comps, but they only provided 3. I took the mean of 3. We had one that was very low at 301, which is a little bit higher than the subject property, and one that was a little bit low, so 325, 14, 18, a little bit older. I did a mean of the 3, and I came to 327.5. But I did notice that, look at the sale price of number 3. Kind of didn't want to use it, so 385 was adjusted. Of course, it would have the highest adjustment. It's 221 square feet larger than subject property, but it's older. I didn't see the concept of the adjustment for that. And it was sold late in the year, so I didn't see why it adjusted so high based on sale price. But I still use the mean of all those.
Okay. We'll hear from the assessor.
4709 October Drive. Your major streets here is North Sooner Road and East Danforth Road. Square footage of the property is 1,475 square feet. The current value is $331,000, which gives us a price per square foot of $224.81. As Ms. Thompson said earlier, we did have a qualified sale in March of 22 for $325,000. The R3 comp report supports a median value of $336,624 and a mean of $327,829. And in that 3 comp report, we actually used 2 of Ryan's comps. Their comp 3 and 4 is our comp 1 and 3. And I don't know if you're looking at the adjustment, Mr. Hayes, or not, but the adjusted sale price at the top was only about $1,500. The adjustments at the bottom, that's after we make it like the subject. I just want to hopefully clear that up. So that's why the adjustment at the bottom, the sale adjusted price, is more because of those adjustments. So just wanted to say that.
He used the average of the 3 sale adjusted prices is how he came up with the 327, because it's 327.8.
Yeah.
And he rounded it down.
Right. Well, he was saying he was going to throw it out because of the sell price. But anyway, that's all I have on that one. Our median supports 336, which is higher than what we are currently at. And the sales here, we got one sale, 301,782, but we got another sale up to 345,000
in October.
In October. So he's in the middle of that. So that's why we feel that 331,000 is a fair value of the property.
Okay, you get the last word on this, Mr. Hayes.
Nothing further.
Okay, I'm going to close the hearing on BOE number 242. And that's it on the agenda. And I think you're the only person on the agenda tomorrow, Mr. Hayes. So we'll have 15 of yours tomorrow.
Yeah, what?
15. Okay, so we'll sign off and we'll see you in the morning. You'll be first up.
Have a good day.
All right, thank you.
Ready to make a motion to close?
This hearing, no, he had something that you wanted to say for tomorrow, about tomorrow. You said you'd wait and tell us later. No?
No.
I thought so. No? Okay. If there's nothing further, I'll entertain a motion to close.
I'll make a motion to close this meeting.
Second, all in favor? Aye. Okay, I've already done all of mine.